Hey everyone, David Moyer here, your local Dayton, Ohio real estate expert. And today we're talking about a really popular topic, and that is condos. Now, we're going to talk about why condos are so extremely popular, but there are some things you need to know before you buy a property that is a condo, or if you currently own one, before you potentially sell that condo. We're going to dive into things you may not be aware about, such as HOA rules and regulations, financing, rental options, and amenities. All those things matter at the end of the day, so stay tuned. And if you're looking to buy a condo in Dayton, Kettering, Centerville, Oakwood, you name it, this video is for you. Now let's just jump into it and talk about the pros of owning a condo here in Dayton. There are things that come along with owning a condo that are really appealing to people, whether you're a first-time home buyer or if you're downsizing and looking for something that's easy to maintain. And that's just it, the maintenance. Maintenance is covered in a majority of the condos that you purchase, and that's everything from the exterior of the condo, shoveling the snow, mowing the grass, replacing the roof if there's a storm. All of those things are typically included with a condo when you live there. But there are things that are going to be added on to that in exchange for the easy maintenance living. So I want to talk about that as well. And if you're thinking about owning something and you say, I really want a pool, and you can't find a home that has a pool, you can usually find a condo association that has a fantastic pool. And not to mention, that association is going to maintain that pool for you. And trust me, if you've ever owned a pool before, you will see the value in that as well. Now, let's talk about one of the challenges that come along with owning a condo, and that is the HOA fees. Now, these can vary dramatically across the board depending on the type of condo you're looking at and where it is in the greater Dayton area. Some fees include things such as lawn maintenance, snow removal, some include water, some include trash, and many include what's called hazard insurance. And this is insurance that covers the entire building in which your condo resides, but it does not cover the items that are inside the building. So what I tell buyers when they're looking to purchase a condo is that you will still want to get insurance for your condo that covers from the drywall in. In the event of a fire, the insurance for the condo association, the hazard insurance we talked about, is not going to cover the belongings that you have in the condo, the kitchen, the bathrooms, the sofa, the TV. It's not going to cover that, so you do have to have your own individual policy. Now, this is very similar to what you may have if you're currently a renter, and that is your renter's policy for your personal items in that apartment. The hazard insurance for the condo covers everything else. Now, if there's also a pool, as we've discussed before, or potentially a fitness center, walking trails, a playground, things like that, that's also going to increase those fees. So here in the greater Dayton area, we can see some fees as low as $150 to $187 a month, and those typically are going to include bare minimum things, such as shoveling the snow, mowing the grass, and just some routine maintenance on the exterior and your hazard insurance. We also see some HOA fees as high as $400 or $500 a month. Those are going to be more immersive. They're going to cover amenities such as that pool or a tennis court, and they're also going to cover a lot of routine maintenance. So keep in mind, there are various ways you can go about this, and those HOA fees are non-negotiable. And if you stay in that condo long enough, things do tend to get more expensive. So every now and then, those association boards will meet, they will vote with the residents, work with the association company that manages the development, and from time to time, they will approve increases. And this is a good thing. You don't want to live in a condo association that doesn't have the money in their reserves to take care of things. We'll dive into that here in just a minute. Now, this next section is a really big one, especially if you're looking to purchase a condo and you've never bought a condo before, or maybe you're a first-time home buyer, and that is the type of financing that you can use to purchase a condo. If you were to call me up and say, David, I am looking to purchase my first home, and you were looking at a single-family residence anywhere in the greater Dayton area, you could typically use any type of financing that you want. Now, if you're looking at condos and you approach me and you already have a pre-approval, or I send you off to my preferred lender and they approve you for an FHA or a VA loan for our veterans that we work so closely with, that limits the condos that you can potentially buy and move into. And the reason being is these associations have to maintain minimum standards. And so a lot of these associations just, for the lack of better words, don't want to do the paperwork. It's a lot of work to maintain that, to approve people to be able to purchase FHA or VA. So many times I will see a condo association, I will have a buyer with one of those types of financing available. They want to see it. First thing I check is what type of financing is there. And if it is not FHA and not VA and conventional only, I will explore with that buyer if they qualify to go conventional. If not, we will have to move on to something else, or see if the association is willing to allow what we call a spot approval. So that does limit what you can look at. If you're a conventional buyer or cash buyer, you can look at any condo out there. But if you're looking at FHA or VA, that is going to limit what you can purchase because not all associations are the same. Now, if you're purchasing this condo and it's your first home, second home, whatever the case is, and you're thinking, I would potentially like to keep this even if I do move down the road and use it as an investment property, rent it out to somebody else. How easy is that? You can get somebody in there, they're going to cover the mortgage payment, it's now an investment property for you, and you have an association that'll take care of everything. Stop right there. The biggest thing that associations have an issue with are having too many owners in the association that are using the property as rentals, whether it be for income producing properties, investment properties, or what have you. So, and the reason they do that goes back to our last section. If an association has too many rentals in there and reaches a certain threshold, then all of a sudden the approval for FHA loans disappears. And if they go even higher, the approval for those VA loans disappears. So if an association is really trying to maintain the integrity of the community and maintain those financing options, they're also going to limit who can rent those condos, if anybody. So if that is something you're wanting to do in the future, get with your agent, get with me, and we will review those bylaws carefully so that you don't get into an investment and not be able to make that move and rent out that unit in the future and be stuck with it or having to sell it, which is an okay thing too. But be aware, not all condos can be rented the same they can if you purchase a single family home and decide to keep that in the future and use it for a rental. Now here's a tip if you currently own a condo and you're looking to sell a condo, and that is do a health check on your association. This is important because the last thing you want to do is get a qualified buyer that is under contract for your property, and then that buyer finds out, or that lender finds out, that the association health score is not tight, is rather low, and their reserves don't meet the minimum standards. So get with your association, get those documents. They are yours to look at. You have the right to those. Look at the financials. Check out their reserves. Do they have enough in reserves for major upgrades, major changes? Remember, the hazard insurance covers everything for those condo buildings, but from time to time, maybe the roof needs to be replaced, and a storm is not something that causes the roof to be replaced, so that is money out of the association's pocket. They need to have those reserves to maintain the building. If they don't, it could be a disqualifier for a buyer. So make sure you know the health score of your association, and that will help you with your sale in the end. And I will help you find that out, no problem. And one final thing, if you're looking to sell your condo, see if your association has a reserve study. If you don't know what that is, give me a call and I can tell you exactly what that is. Essentially what a reserve study is that the association is doing pre-planning. They're looking into the future. This is a great asset to market to potential buyers for your property. It shows them that your association is active, that they are involved, and they are securing the future of all the residents that live there. And if you're a buyer and you're thinking about purchasing a condo and you have your approval from your lender for a certain amount, keep in mind that those HOA fees are also going to count towards your monthly expenses when you are finally getting approved. So if you're approved for a condo and you're approved for a loan at $200,000, but that association fee is $500 a month, talk to the lender first. See if that monthly HOA fee is going to affect the final purchase price that you're approved for. At the end of the day, I don't want my clients to fall in love with something that maybe is not going to work out for them, or maybe is not a good investment at the end of the day. So doing your research, getting your ducks in a row, it's all going to pay off in the end. I can't wait to help you with this process. And if you have any questions, like, follow, subscribe. Let's talk about it. And I love working in Dayton, Ohio.